Zona Pig Restaurant in Ozona. Yes, that's every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. It's Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Tune in to the Shrink and Wrap Show here on Tan Talk Radio. Our stories and our topics will include, but are not limited to, everyday issues. We're here for you, for our listeners. We want to know what's important to you. So again, don't miss us on Tan Talk Radio. Tune in again, Shrink and Wrap Show. We'll see you then.
That's the Shrink and Wrap Show every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's now time for Connecting Caregivers with author, speaker, caregiver advocate, and talk show host Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for caregivers.
Caregivers around the world today, it's time to lift you up. It's time to celebrate. Good afternoon and welcome to Connecting Caregivers with me, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. On this show where you can find help and hope. So I'm so glad that you've tuned in today. I'm solo today. Lynn's has some medical issues going on, but nothing serious. And I have a call-in guest in a little while, but the first thing I want to do is say hello to my friend Ed on the boards.
Howdy.
How are you today?
Not bad. I'm waiting for this little cool down, you know?
I'm ready.
Just pulled my phone out because I looked it up, and it seems that there is a bit of a cool down. It's only going to hit 77 today, supposedly.
Yeah, because it's been hot for too long.
But next week, midweek, mid-60s during the day and 50s at night.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's real nice.
There we go. So that's
and no hurricane.
No, water's. You know, they get. I hate when they do that. They put.
Oh, they make everyone so fearful.
You know who it is? It's people. There's people on YouTube that have their little YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they get they're in grandma's basement, and that's their studio, and they put all these graphics up, and they put this big hurricane.
Right.
Spinning next to Florida. And all these people, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's terrible.
You know, and all they're doing, they're sucking off the information that the real meteorologists do that are on TV.
Well, I was in a restaurant the other night with some friends, and there's a TV, and there's all these swirl stuff in there, and people in the restaurant are starting to freak out. I'm like, shut that TV off.
And it's like, you know, this time of year, the Gulf of Mexico is cooled down, so anything that gets close, it fizzles out, you know?
Yeah.
So we're fine.
Yeah, we're good. So I want to give a shout out to our newest listeners. We have Ramona in Clearwater, Miranda in Tampa, and Sally in St. Pete. And if Lynn was here, she'd say, welcome, ladies. So I'm saying it. There's always plenty of room around the Connecting Caregiver table for new listeners, whether you listen when we're live on AM FM with Tan Talk, or whether you listen to us on YouTube or Facebook or my website. We're just here to help you in any way we can. I'm so excited. Yesterday was the end of my 3-day conference, our 7th conference. Oh my goodness. Great response, great information. Every time I have a conference, I learn stuff I didn't know. You know, and things change, and it was just absolutely fabulous. To the point where the next conference will be May 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2025.
Now you do that like on a Zoom call, right?
Yeah, it's all on a Zoom platform. So anyone who registers, they just punch in, right? The beauty of it is that as long as they register, within 30 days, they receive all the videos of the conference. Because sitting there for 3 days, I mean, I don't expect anybody to sit there. The only person that does is my stepmother. But this way, you know, they want to share it with their sister, or they miss something or whatever. So there's been it was funny. So I was so tired because I'm so involved with it. And last night when it was over, I had to go by Arden Courts for a nice little event. They gave me a turkey and a cherry pie and a bottle of wine. And I'll tell you, I ate like a third of that cherry pie for dinner last night.
But, you know, speaking of pies, you know, we get pies every year.
Yeah.
And last year they were from Village Inn.
Oh.
So we're expecting those. So we'll have to save you one.
Yeah. That's really nice. Yeah. But after that, I went to the gas station. I had Charlie with me. My puppy Charlie was in the car. And I'm pumping my gas, and this man's asking me about something, and I start chatting with this man, and all of a sudden I hear this voice behind me, and this woman says, "Are you Linda Burhans?" And I turn around and I go, "Yeah." "Oh my God, I was just at your conference. It was so wonderful. I learned all that stuff. I wasn't sure if it was you until you started talking to the man," she said. then, because I've heard your voice a bit. She's like, "Oh, it was like so fabulous and everything." I said, "Oh, thank you, and everything. You should do one of those like every 2 months." I said, I said, I can't do one of those every 2 months, but I have a radio show, I do support groups, my website and everything. And then all of a sudden she said to me, I was kind of embarrassing. She said, "Could I have your autograph?" No one has ever asked me for my autograph. I just kind of felt weird, and I said, "No, but I have a copy of my book in the car, and if you want, I could give you my book, and I'll autograph that." Yeah. "Oh, okay." But it was weird. It was weird.
Now, how long do these conferences last?
It was from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow. Do you get a break or anything?
Yeah, we had 18 speakers over 3 days, so there'll be like certain parts, it's like a half-hour break, probably in between certain sessions, because some like take their full hour, some take 45 minutes, some take a half hour. So they'll have breaks in between, because especially if you're a caregiver, you got to go to the bathroom, you got to feed mom, you got to do whatever. So it works out well, but it's a full-fledged thing, because the people are speaking and I'm moderating. If anybody, sends in questions, plus people text me questions, and then some people that see the agenda for the conference before it even starts, they start emailing me questions. So, it was really interesting. Do we have Angela yet?
Nope.
I don't know.
Do we have a number? We could take a break and we could call her on the break.
Yeah. Let me see what I have here. Oh, my goodness. Because this isn't the first time. It is hard with different time zones, though.
That's the thing, though. I see that a lot when some people call either way too early or the show's already done and they've got the time zone wrong.
I've done it myself. I've had like a Zoom meeting with someone, and instead of I'm 3 hours the wrong way.
Yep.
Okay, let's see.
You calling her?
Yeah.
Did you want me to go to a break?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help, because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
Sean W. Scott has been practicing elder law and qualifying clients for Medicaid for over 30 years. While his practice is in all areas of estate planning, such as durable power of attorney, healthcare surrogates, and wills, he also prides himself on having a 100% accuracy rate on getting clients approved for Medicaid. Why Medicaid, you may ask? Do you want to pay up to $16,000 a month for a nursing home should the time come? Obviously, no one wants to have to endure this cost. So even though you may have planned well for retirement, the reality is things happen. Planning ahead is never too soon. You need to make sure your income and assets are protected so that you can take care of you and your loved ones. Florida law is very specific on how and what is protected and how to protect it. Give Sean a call. He can help. 727-539-0181. That's 727-539-0181.
My mom was getting older, but she was able to live pretty independently until recently. When her case manager told me she would be discharged from rehab in just a few days, I didn't know what to do. But I knew for sure that she couldn't go back living alone at home. So that's when I contacted Sunway's Senior Living Concierge. My Senior Living Concierge, Lisa, was there for me through the whole process and was a free service for us to compare in-home care options and how that cost would compare to assisted living. With Lisa's help, we found a great new home for Mom, and she is thriving. Take it from me, don't go through this journey alone.
Hi, I'm Ellie Baldwin, co-founder and president of Sunway's Senior Living Concierge. We're a free placement and concierge service for families to help compare senior living communities and find the best place for you or a loved one. Call us today at 727-314-6451 or find us online at sunwayseniorliving.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And we're back. You know, I love Sunway Senior Living Concierge. They were part of the conference, and their session was all about the discharge process at a hospital. And we've never addressed that at any of the conferences before, and I learned so much. You know, I can remember one of the people sent in a question and said, if my mom's going to be discharged from the hospital and she has to go to rehab, do I have a choice of that rehab? Because many people think they don't have a choice. The hospital just says, you're going to ABC rehab. Or sometimes they give you a list, but you don't have a clue. So one of the things we talked about at the conference yesterday, and I think it's a good thing for people to think about, is you might have an idea in the next 6 months or a year or 3 months that your loved one's going to have a surgery, a hip replacement or whatever, because you usually, you know about that ahead of time usually. I suggest that you contact Sunways and they can tell you about the different rehabs, what's near your house, what's covered by your insurance. So the best thing is to be prepared, because you're in like a little frantic as it is. When all of a sudden your loved one has surgery or whatever, and now they have to go into rehab. So if you don't have to think about that part of it, you've already made a decision on, I'll go to A or B, as long as they have a bed, because that's part of it too. It's a good idea. And that's one of the things we talk through the whole conference, and I talk about it all the time, and it's just being prepared. Just being prepared, because we're all getting older and we're not getting healthier. Well, some are healthier than others, but none of us are getting out alive. So I want to do the best I can for myself and for my loved one while I'm here. And that's one of the things I want to do, is to have these conversations. When I first started doing this 15 years ago, people didn't even know they were caregivers. They were like, I'm the faithful daughter, I'm the good spouse, I'm the sister. Or it was always the designated daughter. She was the single daughter, the oldest daughter, or the closest to the house daughter. Mm-hmm. But then all of a sudden, after a while, we started talking about it on television. We started talking about Alzheimer's and dementia. My mom had a light form of dementia. I didn't even know she had dementia. My mom had stage 4 colon cancer. So that's what we were dwelling on. And my mom, like me, was a little goofy. So sometimes, and she was doing some chemo drugs for a while. It wasn't until after she passed away, and I looked back at my journals and I started thinking about things, and when I was writing my book, Good Night and God Bless, that I realized, yeah, she had dementia. She definitely did. Mm. I didn't realize until after she passed away that she couldn't read anymore. I just thought she was an avid reader. Well, avid. A book or two a month, whatever, those beach books and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, she really wasn't reading anymore. And when we would go into a restaurant, she would hand me the menu and say, you're my assistant. Mm. You pick out, right? And I just thought, sorry, Mom. I just thought she was being lazy. Because you don't realize. Mm-hmm. You don't realize that your mom's failing. Or you don't really want to realize, maybe. But think about that. The more prepared we can be, the better. It was how I first found out about like home health. I was supposed to go pick my mom up one day, and we were going to go vote. and I go to pick her up, and she's not there. Well, she forgot that I was coming to pick her up, so she went on the bus from the community, from Freedom Square to the polling booth to vote to vote. And when she came out after voting, she tripped on a piece of rubble or something and fell down and gashed her leg big time. Big time. Well, now she's going to have to, like every other day, have her bandage changed. And that is not my forte. I have a sister who's a nurse, but she wasn't here. She's really good at that. I always say, I'm not the nurse sister, I'm the entertaining sister. And that's when I found out, someone could come in and do that for us. Who knows?
My dad got it very late and very quick in dementia.
Yeah, and it's all different.
He was in the hospital for something with his eye. And I remember he was always sharp, with memory, this, that, whatever, current events that were going on. And I remember calling him, and at some first couple of minutes, he said something like, so, you talk to your sister much? Oh, my sister died like 5 years ago.
Wow.
I thought he was kidding.
Yeah.
And then he said it again later, and
something's not right.
And I
there.
reminded him, and he said, "Who is this?" And
yeah,
I'd never had to say this is Ed. I mean,
right?
He knows who I am
exactly.
But yeah, and then he didn't last much longer than that. He was 85, and
thank God.
Yeah,
thank God, because we have some people on this
because
journey.
he was in the hospital for a month, and he got to the point where he was irritated very easily, and he was the polar opposite of me, or I'm the polar opposite of what he is.
Yeah,
I mean, I show my emotions, and I get upset, and I get mad, and he's not. He did not.
Yeah,
but they said the nurses saying he was nasty, and it just wasn't him.
So much frustration. I can't even imagine what it has to be like. I tried to picture myself. What if I couldn't? I will tell you, as I'm getting older, I don't remember everything I used to remember. I don't think I have dementia. I think I do have an aging brain. I mean, they say your brain is at its top capacity when you're 25. And from there, it starts aging in the opposite direction. But you don't know. And there's so many different kinds of dementia. I mean, there are people that have, and it's very hard though when you see your loved one, like your dad, that was calm and cool, agitated, because that's the last thing we want for our loved one.
Yeah.
So I don't think our guest that's supposed to be calling in today is going to be calling in. So I'm going to tell you all about her. Her name is Angela Fairhurst, and she's an innovative entrepreneur and the CEO and founder of Geri-Gadgets, a company dedicated to enhancing the lives of those affected by dementia. Inspired by her mother's Lewy body dementia diagnosis, Angela leveraged her extensive background in product development and marketing to create groundbreaking patented products for senior care. So I'm not going to read the rest of her bio, but she's created something called Geri-Gadgets. And this is, I don't know if you can, let me see if I can do this so you can see it. Okay. So this is the box. Can you see it, Ed? My microphone in the way?
We have a couple of cameras. We got the YouTube one is above the TV.
Okay.
And then yours is going to, for your Facebook, is over here. There you go.
Okay, here we go.
That way, there.
Yeah, maybe that's the best way.
Yep.
So Geri-Gadgets, so this is a heavy plastic rubbery kind of box.
It's like a big Tupperware box.
Yeah. And it's a little thicker than that, though. Very smooth. So Angela sent me one of these that I sent out at one of the recent caregiver contests. This was one of their gifts in the caregiver contest. So I went over and borrowed it yesterday. So inside are all these different shapes that you can fit in, because a lot of times with people that, and there's like stars on one side, it's very tactile. And almost anyone fits in with another one. So it's like no way is wrong. Because many times people that have dementia get very picky. They're picking their clothes. They're picking whatever's around to pick. Many times we just have to give them something different that they can hold. That's okay. Because they just need to have that feeling. And one of the things I love about this is it's another product, invention by someone who's been through an experience with their loved one. All the people I meet, the people that write the books, that, you know, the guests that I have, the people that create new things, I would say 99% is because they had a personal experience. Yeah. Yeah. So it's good stuff. They, let me give you their website. Geri, Geri dash gadgets, GADGETS.com. And you can look at Geri-Gadgets on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, the whole.
Now, is that a locking lid or just a snap-on, or
It's not even a snap-on. It's just
kind of
a
lays
lid.
on it?
It's kind of like a lid on an old shoebox.
Okay.
Right? So it fits on.
So you don't need somebody to open it for you.
Right. You don't need somebody to open it for you. But it keeps everything secure. And this is just one. There are different styles. There are some you can make flowers. You can do whatever. But we have to realize when people start picking or when they start getting really agitated, sometimes you just give them something to hold. They'll feel much better. I've also talked on the radio show before about the robotic pets. And we ended up talking about that on the conference because there was one in the background in my studio. And they're absolutely fabulous. The name of the company is Joy for All. And they have cats and they have dogs. But they're animated. The dog barks. He pants a little bit. He moves his head. He wags his tail. The same thing with the cat. And I can remember one of my caregivers saying, my mother just like will never sit and calm down. She's always just kind of not agitated, but like on the edge or whatever. And she used to have cats, and now her mother's not able to care for a cat. And she said she got her one of those cats, and her mom would just sit in the chair and pet the cat. And she told her daughter, I feel loved. The dogs, I have a girlfriend who her mom was in a dementia community in New York. And so I sent her one as a gift. Well, you know, lots of times in dementia communities, they have the baby dolls and everything.
Right.
Well, she said, they have babies. I have a dog that barks. You know, and she was a very feisty woman, you know. I have a dog that barks. So many times we just have to try to figure out the solutions for the different things that are going on. And many times we just don't even understand what's going on. That's why I think it's good to get an education. But the most important thing I'm going to ask you to do is to be compassionate. You know, people come to a support group and, oh, mom can't do this anymore. She can't do that or whatever. How do you think she feels? How does she think she feels? You know, a couple months ago, I was sitting in my bedroom in my recliner, reading a nice book, feeling all fine and dandy. And all of a sudden, I had to go to the bathroom. And I thought to myself, what if someone had helped me to go to the bathroom? So I try personally to just be prepared for everything as I'm aging. So that's not going to have to happen. But we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But once again, my biggest thing is being prepared. You know, people say, Linda, you're like fly by night. And I am in some ways. But I'm still prepared. Like my daughter called me and she was upset about something yesterday. And she's crying. And I'm like, just chill. There's like nothing we can do about it. And she said to me, boy, it must be wonderful being ignorantly blissful. I said, no one ever said that about me when I was younger. I was always like that speed demon and everything. But, you know, you learn with aging. that some stuff is just not in your control, and that me worrying about it, because it was all about the hurricane.
Yeah.
That's not going to hit us now.
Yeah.
But then I should be nicer because we are kind of on high alert here.
Yeah, we have to be.
We got banged twice bad, and all I was thinking the other day, if we were going to get another hurricane, my heart for those people that have not even put their houses, that don't even have houses.
Still ongoing. I think I did a spot for another station. You know, they wanted to know, you know, how the cleanup is going. I said, we're about 90% cleaned up now. And last week we were probably about 80%.
Yeah.
And it's just been so much stuff.
So much.
You know, I mean,
and big stuff.
Yeah, that's why I would say we're not talking about the recliner.
Right.
Or on the sofa, we're talking about a stove, a refrigerator, a freezer.
A tree you can't get your arms around.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff. Everything you can think of.
Yeah.
Is out and it's 10 feet high.
Yeah.
You know, and it smells because it's been out there in the rain and
it's so sad just looking at
it. And the thing is that those people, if they were still living in the house, they would go and somewhere and they'd have to come home to that all the time and see that constantly. And finally it's getting picked up and things are starting to get back to normal, but the people are still still see delivery trucks delivering brand new, you know,
everything,
refrigerators. And I mean, I've talked to people that gone to Best Buy and a place like that and can't keep refrigerators in stock, and Home Depot and stuff. So,
and I've heard of people this past week that just walked away.
Yes. Yeah, so, well, this was
like they're seniors. Evidently, they must have another home somewhere and everything. But they were just like, we just can't deal.
Well, the people that are on the beach they knew it's storm surges, but we were always lucky enough not to get it. Yeah. And this one came with sand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like, whoa, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Because it just, you know,
people that never left.
A wall of sand came through and you drove down Gulf Boulevard and it was like being in Buffalo in January because on both sides you had
like snow
10 feet high of white sand that looked like snow.
Yeah.
But it was a double dip. We got hit twice.
Yeah.
And, you know, that just really knocks you down.
Yeah, it does. Well, you know what? I've always wanted to live on, I always say I want to live on Gulf Boulevard. It's on my vision board, you know, and all that. Not no more.
No, I would never want to do that. And they've been the last ones to get cleaned up, to tell you the truth.
You know. And then still a lot of the businesses aren't.
No, I'd say less than 50% are open.
Yeah.
And that includes the hotels.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mom and pop hotels have been gutted, you know?
Yeah.
And I think the hardest part of it, if you've gone down to Paso Grill, that is awful. It looks like a bomb went off down there. I mean, those buildings have been breached. You know, you've got the mom and pop Sunset Inn with the walls were broken down, and it's just
all the jobs that were lost.
Well, there's plenty of jobs right now if you can got a shovel,
physical,
you know, and you can do that stuff. There's stuff to be done, but
and you know what I will say though, through all the sadness and everything, I hear the most fabulous stories of people doing the most wonderful things to help people. People opening their homes. People, you know, there's that app next door, and sometimes you just see people that are whiny on there.
Yeah,
but there are people that are saying, "Oh, I have a double bed. I have this and that," and before you know it, somebody says, "I'll pick it up at 4:00." You know, or I can't see it till tomorrow, and the person's like, "Okay, don't worry, just let me know. We'll work it out." So I don't know.
Yeah, for the people that can't do for themselves, it's just been hell.
Oh, for the people in the healthcare industry,
and with, like I said, with the sand, people are like, "Well, where the hell did it come from?" Well, you have to remember, for years and years and years, we keep replenishing those beaches,
right?
And where does it go? It washes out. It washes out. This time it came back.
Yeah, and it's just can go in every little crevice, just like water.
Yeah,
in every little crevice.
Yeah, and it's so destructive. And we've had Clear Sky and other restaurants in here that
Oh yeah,
it's gotten in. Their equipment is just
done.
people say, "Oh, you get wet." Oh, you got salt water, you got sand. It's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
It's all gone.
it's just done. I feel bad for the people that work in the insurance companies.
Yeah,
I can't imagine what that's gonna be like.
but that's what insurance is for, and some of them are waiting for checks, so they can pay for
Exactly.
the renovations and get back. And some are targeting Christmas to be open, and the other ones want to be open for spring break.
Yeah. Well, you know what? All my people in the healthcare industry had a really tough time. Some people had to be evac from nursing homes, from memory communities. And come on, you can't take somebody from a memory community and put them in a shelter.
Yeah.
It's hard for someone that's totally of sound mind. But I'm thinking what's going to happen is they're going to be building more new communities because they're always building new communities because we have so many seniors here. They're going to be like hurricane proof. Because there are buildings they can build now that are pretty much hurricane proof.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are going to, even like people looking to move their loved one to a senior community, I think they're going to say, how did you do the last storm? Did you have to evac or not? Because I don't think I would want to move my mom somewhere if she had to be evac under. Because not only she'd be stressed, I'm stressed because if she's got to evac, I probably got to evac too.
Because it's all about flood zone. Yeah. And then it's all about whether you've got electricity, running water, whether you can stay there or not.
Yeah.
And, traditionally these things happen in the middle of summer when it's 100 degrees outside and you've got no air conditioning.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, yesterday with the conference, because I do it out of my house, so I always insulate my windows the night before, these foam panels and everything. Thank goodness I did, because the next building, they were putting on a new roof. All you could hear was bang, bang, bang. My dog thought it was gunshots. Bang, he wouldn't even go outside. Bang, bang, bang. So I was like, oh, because I really did think the day before. I do it every time I insulate. It's kind of a project for me by myself to do it and everything, but I do it. And I was like, maybe I don't need to do it. And I'm like, Linda, if you don't do it, and thank God I did it. So I didn't even take it down yet because it was just yesterday. But this morning I get up and everything's so dark,
Well, people have heard that, wonder what kind of neighborhood you live in.
Exactly. Bang, 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 bang. I'm telling you. See, my dog's not afraid of thunder and lightning or fireworks or anything because I have tinnitus, that ringing in your ears.
Yeah.
And during the day, it doesn't bother me because most of the times I don't shut my mouth. But when it's quiet or at night, it really bothers me. So when I go to sleep at night, I say, Alexa, play thunderstorms. And I sleep through thunderstorms the entire night.
Yeah.
So he started with that with me, right? So he's not afraid of fireworks or thunderstorms. But that bang, bang, bang gunshot, he's like, I'm not going out of the house. You wonder how they could even think that.
Yeah, the fireworks, I just that night I just turn up either the TV or the radio.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's done by midnight, whatever. But
well, usually it's a couple days before, they have to try them out.
A couple days before, a couple days after.
We had some issues on Seminole. People were shooting ducks. And it's a horrible, it's like, who's shooting on the lake? It's a big lake Seminole. Somebody was shooting ducks. But I'm telling you, that's been a heartbreak because the dam broke.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
The one there by Park Boulevard?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's repaired now, but my dock, you could go out to the end of the dock and just climb off and you're standing in mud and there's no water. No water.
Now, are you on the north part or the south? You're above the 102nd Bridge or below?
I'm between 102nd and Park.
Okay, so you're on the lower part.
Yeah. But
so I used to ski in that lake and then motorboat back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, and people ski there. People, not a lot. You see people jet skis once in a while. You see fishing boats, small fishing boats. But now they're saying, because of course the storm did a lot of damage to our dock, that they may not replace it, and that breaks my heart because I go on that dock every morning.
Yeah.
But we'll see. At least the lake will still be there. I don't know how long before the water will really come back, but I can't complain. I really can't complain. I think it's time to hear from our wonderful partners. What do you think?
Sure.
Don't go away. We'll be right back on Connecting Caregivers Radio.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Choosing the right chiropractor is an important choice to make. Located in Seminole, the Alexander Spine Center team is trained on the latest chiropractic treatments and technologies. At Alexander Spine Center, you'll find chiropractic and physical therapy care that is safe, effective, and a natural approach to pain and other health-related issues. Chiropractic unlocks your body's potential and natural healing process to ensure your life is a healthy life. We treat clients from the womb to the tomb. Call 727-397-3000 for a free consultation today, or visit our website at www.alexanderspinecenter.com.
They take good care of me twice a week, so check them out.
Arden Courts is not just a place to live. It's a place to call home. Residential living combined with quality caregiving. This is the philosophy behind Arden Courts. Communities created exclusively for individuals with Alzheimer's disease and related dementia who would benefit from a safe and structured environment. For additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides, call 888-478-2410 to locate a community nearest you. Inquire about our educational seminars, resource library, or support groups, or simply feel free to ask questions you may have about Alzheimer's and related dementias. At Arden Courts, we know, we understand, and we can help because memory care is all we do. Remember, call 888-478-2410 for additional information about any of the unique services Arden Courts provides.
We believe the power of the human body and mind can do amazing things, and that tapping into that power, not just tricking it with a temporary disguise, is possible. Superpatch technology uses a special pattern and vibrotactile technology to help you go from feeling blah to hurrah. Now, once the Superpatch is in contact with your skin, it triggers a neutral response in the brainstem that helps you tackle your daily problems head on. Whether you're struggling with pain, balance, stress, or focus, we have a solution that might be right for you. With Superpatch's 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Hi, this is Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers. I started using the Liberty Patch over 3 years ago. I used to be a tripper, but since wearing a Liberty Patch, I haven't tripped once. The Liberty Patch is proven to reduce the risk of falling by up to 8 times. And as we all know, if you prevent the fall, you prevent the call. Don't wait until it's too late. Preventative solutions are the answer.
Superpatch does not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure illness. Superpatch is FDA registered. To receive 25% off your first order, go to sticktoit.info. That's sticktoit.info and learn more.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And you guys know how I love my super patches, and they just came out with a brand new patch. I will have mine on Monday, called Boost, and it's like an energy patch. So instead of drinking that Red Bull that has terrible stuff in it, it's going to make you like a jittering fool. We have the new Boost patch. So I'll test it out and let you guys know what I think. They tested it out on some of my colleagues, and everybody seems really happy with it. So that could be really interesting because I'll tell you, those energy drinks scare me. I've never had one. I don't have any caffeine in my diet. Years ago, I never drank coffee. I didn't like coffee. But I worked in this office. It was really cold, so I used to drink a lot of tea. And one day I felt like I was flying around the office. I must have had like 5 cups of tea. And I was like, nah, this is not good. So I have no caffeine in my diet. I will say a few years ago, I was going to New York to see my dad, a little more than a few years ago. And, you get your free drink. I'm like, oh, I haven't had a Coke like in years. I want to have a Coke. You give me that, with the ice in the glass. I drank that Coke, and sorry to say, I was in the bathroom the rest of the flight. My body was like, what did you do to me? It was terrible. So never again.
An airplane is not a place to mess with your digestive system.
No, but I just was not thinking. It was terrible.
I mean, I'm a Coke Zero drinker.
Okay.
I mean, I love that. I mean,
so that's no caffeine Coke? Is that what it is?
No, that's 0 calories and
okay.
0 sugar.
Okay.
But once a year, I want Coke. Or just regular Coke.
Right.
and I look forward to that.
Yeah.
I don't have the problem with it, but just I don't do it.
Well, usually on the plane, I'll get ginger ale, or I'll get tomato juice if it's tomato juice, not if it's Bloody Mary mix. If it's just tomato juice, but so when I fly Allegiant, though, if you have the Allegiant credit card, you get to go on early, and you get a free drink. Anything that's on there, so I get my little bottle of Prosecco.
There you go.
I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? But I have to. 2 flights ago when I went, I forgot to bring the card. And the last thing they want to hear is, I have a card, but I forgot it. Can you help me? I'll give you my driver's license or something. I'm like, okay, Linda, you're not getting any drink on this flight.
Yeah, back in my day, I remember visiting my friend, got to Detroit airport, and then we had to go somewhere else. It was a 45-minute puddle jumper, and got up, and she says, can I get you something to drink? I said, yeah, need a couple of Make Ultras back here. Sorry, it's only a 30-minute flight. You're right, bring 3.
Well, even on any flights in the day, people drank up on flights. They drank up, they smoked cigarettes, and they dressed up.
I was never on a smoking flight. I can tell you that. I'd never. I saw the sign that said no smoking.
I'm a little older than you.
Okay, but I've never seen somebody smoke on a flight.
I'm a little older than you. I remember a friend of mine. He smoked. His wife didn't smoke. Oh, Tommy, his name was. He was an avid, big smoker, though. And so they go on a plane, and he goes to the bathroom and lights a cigarette. Come on. And next thing you know, they come to his seat, and he goes, Mary, I told you, don't be smoking in the bathroom.
Oh.
I was like, you son of a gun. You son of a gun. And like I was saying, too, that's when people used to get dressed up to go on the plane.
Yeah, that was the thing. You always get dressed up to go.
It's kind of nice. I like that. I like when people used to get dressed up to go to the theater.
And you could have a few cocktails before, during, and after, but then people could just abused it,
Right.
and
Right.
And with all the stuff that went on, and with
well, even now
airplanes
people try to sneak it. They bring those little teeny bottles in
yeah,
their pocketbook.
well, you can't do that anymore either.
But they try to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So I have some things to tell you about here. So Arden Courts, I'm just going to read this flyer to you. Caring for U.S. military veterans, first month free with November move-in. And that's a chunk of change. Every day we have the distinct honor of providing U.S. military veterans with specialized memory care services. To show our appreciation for veterans, Arden Courts is offering eligible U.S. veterans their first month free if they move in during the month of November. We meet each individual where they are with their personal journey by identifying and evaluating the impact of each veteran's experience. We work with each veteran, their physician, and family members to customize a safe, supported service plan. So if you might be interested in this, you can call Arden Courts at 727-517-7800. Now, that is their Seminole phone number, but they have like 53 locations all over the United States. And this is, so if you're somewhere else, the number you would call is 888-427-7183. Also, there is a Wednesday walk club for caregivers right here in Largo at John S. Taylor Park, shelter number 2. It's every Wednesday morning, beginning at 9 a.m., and you just go there and walk with other caregivers, get some fresh air, check things out. So if you'd like to, you can RSVP to that to 727-559-8411. And I'll put all the information in the show. Let's see what else. Okay. Caregiver contest. Go to lindaburhans.com. Nominate a caregiver. This week I was very excited to see we got like 6 new nominations. But we should be having a whole lot more because it doesn't cost you any money to nominate someone. They all receive a gift, and they all get entered into the big contest to win a whole bunch of gifts. And like I tell you, they're just so appreciative that somebody thought about them. I can remember when my husband was dying and we had hospice, and hospice would come to the house. And the nurse would come and she would take his vitals, all this stuff. And then when she was finished, she said, I think I need to take yours, Linda, too, to see if you're doing okay. I can't tell you how good that made me feel. That somebody was seeing if I was okay. So really think about that. So I think we're going to call it for a wrap today.
Yeah.
It was good talking to everybody. We will see you next week for another fabulous show. Remember, God loves you, and have a delicious day.